Tell me if this sounds familiar. You're someone who is highly ambitious and holds high standards for yourself and your life, to the point where you want to learn anything and everything. One day you want to learn an instrument, the next day you want to learn a language. Now you want to learn the skill of YouTube, but you also want to be a really good home cook, or you want to be fit and lean and get in the gym. And now, wait a minute, you're trying to learn chess? If that sounds like you, then I'm here to tell you that I was in your shoes exactly 1 year ago. In this video, I'm going to outline the one key unlocked that helped me go from wanting to learn a whole bunch of different skills and wanting to learn literally everything to actually picking up the skills I've been meaning to learn for all those years, but have been putting it off. If you're new here, hello, my name is Aaron Hamilton. I am currently in a digital leadership development program at a Fortune 100 company, and on this channel, I distill the lessons I've learned into become more effective, reach their potential, and actually live a fulfilling life. When it comes to being a highly ambitious person, it's natural that you would want to excel at many different things. But in order to actually achieve those grand plans for yourself, we're going to need to understand one fundamental truth about human psychology. Throughout the last few years, as I went through high school and went through college, I was someone that really wanted to learn a bunch of different skills, whether that was the guitar, whether that was learning a certain language. And I really had these high standards for myself to want to actually achieve these things and be good at them. But what's funny is that I would pick up the guitar for, let's say, 2 weeks or so and end up getting a little bit good at it. It's just what's strange is that after those 2 to 3 weeks of somewhat fairly consistent habits, I ended up dropping the skill entirely because the friction was too high and that being a beginner was frustrating. Now let's fast forward to a year ago when I graduated college and entered the workforce, where I found myself 9 to 5 working every single day, Monday through Friday, and I was facing a whole bunch of different skills that I would have to learn now that I worked in a big corporation, such as Microsoft Power BI, for example, or just more soft skills like communication and leadership and just the art of talking with people and small talk in the office and a whole bunch of different skills. But what's interesting is that I noticed that over this past year, I have grown a ton in these skills, and I would say I'm no longer a beginner in many of the things I just mentioned due to my constant exposure 40 hours a week to it every single weekday. And then it occurred to me, whereas my life before starting work, I had these different hobbies and skills I wanted to learn, but was not necessarily consistent with them for a long period of time. With work, I found myself forced to be in the office every single day and to actually pick up and learn some of these skills. It came a lot easier because I was practicing it daily and it was fairly consistent. So that brings us to the principle that I find especially true based on my experience, and that is action is the antidote to overthinking. If you are someone who is overthinking or overwhelmed or just trying to map out the perfect plan of attack, just know that your problem, your cure to this issue, is simply taking action. Just like the Nike logo says, just do it. You see, a few years ago, I signed up for a big YouTuber named Ali Abdaal's YouTube course called Part-Time YouTuber Academy. This was back in around 2023, and I'm only now just starting to make videos in 2026. It turns out Ali himself has mentioned that over 50% of his students that have paid real hard-earned money to join this YouTuber Academy and actually get the specialized knowledge that he has acquired as someone with more than 5 million subscribers, I believe it's a lot more nowadays. He has mentioned that the majority of those folks have not even created their first YouTube video, despite being in a YouTuber Academy where the whole point is to get good at making videos. Why is that? And it goes back to our principle. Action is the antidote to overthinking. Everyone that bought the course, including yours truly, sat there and tried to become a master of YouTube and become almost like Ali by simply watching all the videos, taking really diligent notes. It wasn't for a lack of effort, and just trying to become a master and trying to become a perfectionist almost, or just being a perfectionist. We wanted to have it all figured out before making our first video. The issue is that those skills naturally develop as you take action, as you make those videos. So instead of overthinking the title or thumbnail, why don't you try and make titles and thumbnails by making videos? Another analogy for you is, let's say you're trying to learn chess. It's like watching a lot of Gotham chess videos or chess instructional videos, maybe different openings and different tactics and different ideas all on YouTube without ever playing a game of chess. The way to become a good chess player is through playing chess, making mistakes, and reviewing those mistakes, which is all through action, rather than overthinking it and trying to memorize 50 different chess openings. So long story short, although you are highly ambitious, although you have many different things you want to learn and be good at, we need to understand and be rooted in the fact that action is the antidote to overthinking. And that in order to actually learn those things, we need to kind of put that perfectionist mental aside and actually begin taking action. Do the thing, start small, and have these little bite-sized pieces to actually get started and get the ball rolling, and then consistently work at it. If you want to watch me learn a skill in real time, check out the video on the screen here where I create my first YouTube video and explain why you should as well. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in that video.